Alright, welcome back to Dominions. Been chomping at the bit to play this game. Let's see. Alright, and we'll just review this. I think I already saw this battle in the last episode, but just to kind of get back on track. We're just taking a province from Independence. I'm pressing the N key to just kind of skip forward a bit each turn. And so that's why you won't see my archers fire, but you'll see theirs. It's because archers fire first in the, well, kind of. The manual, again, like I said, the manual explains it. Again, I didn't set up the manual on my computer right now to have open. Which, again, like, I would recommend, even though, like, I've read the manual, like, twice, basically, but I would still, even after reading it twice, would still recommend playing the game with the manual open. But, again, I forgot. So, anyway, one thing I want to kind of go over, again, just one more time, because I realized I misspoke in my last episode talking about resources versus supplies versus income, and that has to do with fortresses, okay? If you look here at your province, you will see, again, like I said, I made an annotation. This is just an ID number for the province. So Blackdale is the actual name, and then it's province number 10 in the entire map. Population, directly correlates to income, as you might expect. The exact figure is calculated in the manual. So the income is your gold income. Supplies, this is how much, I guess you could call it food, except they do choose the word supplies because, well, do undead eat food? No, they don't, but they do need supplies. Your undead armies need supplies. So the problem with me, however, is that I often conflate supplies and resources. So please, if I say something that seems wrong, just a warning that I may sometimes misspeak and say supplies instead of resources or vice versa. I really apologize, and I'll try not to. Now, resources are the non-gold required income. Now, of, like, you know, iron or whatever you need to make your troops. Now, the main difference between income and resources is that income will carry over and be retained in your treasury, whereas resources are a turn-by-turn basis only. And supply usage tells you how many supplies are being used by units in that province. So obviously there's nobody in this province, so there's no supply usage. Whereas here, we have some units in this province, and they are using 17 supplies. Now, if the usage of supplies goes up too much, then your units will start to starve. Now, it's also possible to have a negative supply usage, and okay, I'm sorry, I have to apologize. I'll try to look this up and explain it later. I don't believe you stockpile supplies, though. I believe, I'm like 90% positive, but I could possibly be wrong. I'm sure I'm almost positive you don't stockpile supplies. You do have, if you look at your fortification, things called like supply storage. But if you look, all that does is it increases, I believe, the supply amount in the province for when you have a siege. And then during a siege, the supplies go down, but it's not like, I don't believe it's like your treasury where it's like there's an actual number that's being decreased. It's just a formula based on turns. Okay, so now how supplies work is in these provinces and not supplies, but resources. How resources work is this province, since there's nothing built here, there's zero administration, this province is giving half of its available resources. So the Dragonscale Mountains, since they're mountains, they have really great resources. There's actually 168 resources available if you build a fortification there. If you build a fortification, you will get 100% of those resources. However, it's a little bit more tricky than just that. Now, here you might say, well, obviously this province has half of 165. Well, wait, that would be a 0.5, so, huh? Is there like a 0.5 base what? That's not the case, though. This resources is modified to have not just whatever the underlying resource value is. Well, let's talk hypothetically here. Let's say I built a fortress here and that this fortress doesn't exist. Okay, my resources would be instantly, for this province, bumped up to 168. However, fortresses draw resources from adjacent provinces at a rate equal to their, not equal exactly, but dependent upon their administration level. So I can't remember the exact formula. Again, look it up. The manual, I'm not going to summarize the manual on screen, although if I did have it open, I'd probably just open it up for you right now. But anyway, added onto the doubling the 100% resources, remember this is 50% resources, are resources drawn from adjacent friendly controlled provinces, which is based on whatever their 100% available resources is. So it's not based on 27%, it's going to be based on 52, not 27%, 27 resources. It's going to be based on 52 resources. Now, where things get tricky is if you have multiple fortresses all adjacent to the same province. Well, you can't draw over 100% of the available resources, so then you start to get a diminishing return as the same fortresses are kind of exhausting the available resources in that land. And then finally, to just again, what do you use your resources for? Well, here you see 56 resources. These are my resources available here. Gold, this is my treasury gold, but this resource count here is reset each turn. I can't stockpile it. The only thing you can do, which I did in the previous episode, is let's say, yeah, okay, actually that works. So here I'm missing 3 resources, but I added a knight in there anyway. What that means is he will get 53 resources for next turn, even though I'm paying for him now, and then that means he will only use up 3 resources from my next turn, which means I'll use 3 from 165 to finish up this night, this third night, and then I'll have 162 resources to spend on yet more nights, for example. I believe that's how it works. From my testing and my understanding, that's how it works. If, however, this is a complicated game, and like I said, I've read the manual twice, but it's still extreme. It's like a 400... Well, if I say it's a 400-page manual, that's misleading, because 400 pages includes like all the spells, all the unit stats, everything. The actual like game mechanics section of the manual is not as long. But anyway, despite having read it several times, not several times, a few times, I could still be wrong on certain things. So if you are a better player than me at this game, or have a better knowledge or experience base, please feel free to correct what I say in the comments. And hopefully, if I do make a mistake in my explanations on camera, I'll have the time to go back and make annotations to... And hopefully I won't have like my screen covered with annotations fixing things I said. Anyway, that's something I just wanted to clarify right off the top about resources and how fortresses work. And now, gold income. This is something that I had confused for a while, because it is easy for me to get confused. Gold income is not bolstered by adjacent provinces, to my understanding. Gold income is based solely on the province you build your fortress in, but you get a bonus from that exact same administration. So increasing the administration for your castle, fort, palisades, whatever, will increase the income of this province in a formula related to administration. Again, it's in the manual. They don't break it down for you in game, which I think is kind of too bad. It'd be nice. I mean, if this was like, you know, an A, well, I guess you would call it an A, I don't know. If this was like a AA or AAA game, you know, like obviously they'd have tooltips and everything everywhere explaining everything, which, you know, I would appreciate, but still. Okay, that said, I want to go back and get into playing the game. I've made some really dumb moves in this game, and you know, like I guess I should emphasize one more time, this game I'm playing right now is kind of for fun. This is not perhaps the best pretender build, and obviously running my prophet off to get him killed so I can get a new one is, you would not do that in a serious game. But I'm confident that, you know, like I said, I'm just going to have some fun. I don't think I'm going to lose the game yet. That's not going to be the mistake that kills me, if a mistake does indeed kill me. But anyway, let's go ahead. I will try to, at some point after I kind of demonstrate the basics of this game, play a little bit more serious game. But anyway, here we go. So, where was I? I want to go ahead, first things first, set up my recruitment. Again, okay, hang on. I got my researchers here. Now, Let's see. So I could go for another Grandmaster, but he's slow to recruit, which means he's going to take 2 turns. The High Inquisitor... Did I get a High Inquisitor yet? Yes, I did. That's good. That's good. I could move him over here, in fact, and start purging this enemy dominion very effectively, because that's what Inquisitors do. I realize that my voice has dropped volume. I hope that's not going to be an issue. It's early morning, so I have a tendency to kind of get lost in my thoughts and start muttering out loud. Now, High Inquisitor, slow to recruit. He only gets that fire bonus. That's okay. I want to make him my prophet, though. That was a dumb mistake I made. The Witch Hunter, a patrol bonus. That could be useful since I believe I set my scales to be heavily on the Discord side. So, you know what? Just to show off, let's go ahead and recruit a Witch Hunter. Now, holy points, they're all used up for this turn. That's fine. Your holy points also are on a province-by-province basis. Now, if you go over here and look, as soon as I get a temple up, I can start recruiting these Pegasus Riders, which will be a flying sacred unit, even though they have really low hit points. I mean, this is really low even for a mounted unit, but I think it makes sense because, you know, as strong as the horse body might be, the wings, I think, would be very fragile and a liability to the animal's health or survivability. You know, it's like blood has to flow through those wings, and the wings are fragile, so if the wing gets cut, the horsey's going to have a bad day. So I think that makes sense to have them have lower hit points. Alright, what were we doing over here? Oh, do we not have a friar? High Inquisitor, yeah. What am I doing with my armies here, huh? You're my friar. Over here is my bard. And I'm still looking for an enemy province to go into. And I don't know what's in that province yet. An interesting tactic that I saw on another channel, and I'll just go ahead and name the channel because I was really impressed. I learned something when I watched his videos, which I really like when I watch a video for a game like this. His name is It's Moo, like one word, ITS-MU. And he had this interesting tactical idea. It didn't work out for him in the video I used, but it's still a very interesting tactic where instead of sneaking in, you could actually set your unit, set up his battle orders to retreat instantly. Whoops. Can I do that? Oh, don't tell me they've changed it. Oh, no, there it is. Retreat, okay. And then set him up on the battlefield so that he's, like, way down here. Oh, excuse me. Okay, set him up so he's way down here, and then all the troops are going to appear on field, and then he's going to just run away. And since okay, it's not going to work here for him because there's no adjacent friendly province, but if there was an adjacent friendly province, he would run away to that province and be safe, and what you would get is that nice, very detailed overview of the army on the field. You'll see how they're positioned by the AI, etc. You'll know exactly what you're going to be getting into when you go in, and any hidden units will be revealed as well. The only drawback to that, as you can see in his video, is and that was his Formoria video as well, if you do go check it out. If there's flying units or invisible mages, they might get the first move and kill your spy, in which case you're out of the scout. So, I mean, it's a very situational thing, but it was very impressive. I mean, like I said, it was inspired. It was an inspired move. So it's something you can keep in mind with your scouts. Just remember, you have to have a friendly province to retreat into. Otherwise, just any army you have that gets routed, if they don't have a friendly province to retreat into, they are annihilated. They gone, good, defunct, kaput. Okay, I've been doing a lot of talking and very little actual, like, playing of the game. Now, oh, you know what I need? You know what I really need is I need a paladin. That I'm starting to remember now. I need somebody to lead these troops first and foremost. Now, can you preach, actually? Am I at max dominion yet? No. I'm gonna have you preach for 1 turn. I think I'm gonna prefer that to research. It's only research for... Yeah, you know, but the thing too, though, is... Okay, I'm gonna hit this next turn regardless. I'm gonna bump this down. This is where, like, the game's interface can sometimes be very infuriating, depending on your mouse. Like, I'm clicking, like, on a pixel level, and it's there's no, like, lock. Like, please lock construction at this amount of research points, and then let me do that and get all my points out of alteration back into evocation, where I want them. But, alas, such is not the fate. Okay, so, yeah, I want to just dump the spare 4 points into evocation. Something I always do is I forget these levels, or I'll like mess around and be like, I'm gonna put him on research, and then all of a sudden all that nitpicking, min-maxing goes out the door. So yeah, just be aware. But early in the game, like 1 or 2 turns can make a significant difference. Like if you're going in to attack this province, you know, 1 turn worth of research finagling might be the difference between having fire darts versus fireflies versus fire darts, and fire darts is a significantly better spell. Okay, let's see. You have an army. You are a Freya. Well, where do I want to attack next? You know, all of these are really tough units. Why did I even move my Friar down here? I don't even know. Whatever. To capture the province, perhaps? Probably, surely. Let's go ahead and go back and see. Irene is the province we captured. Here's Irene, yeah. Okay, that was not an optimal move on my part, because now I gotta move him back to my capital to get more troops and reunite with that Paladin that I definitely want to get. Okay. I am happy with this. Let's just go ahead and get going, shall we? Yes, we shall. Alright, research and construction is complete. Why did I even get this? I'm not sure why. I think I wanted to get the lesser magic items so I can start building owl quills. I do really kind of want to get evocation up, though. Okay, we'll go max into evocation for a minute. They're just making their profits. Oh, dang, I don't even know yet how I'm going to get my profit back. I think it just takes time. This is so bad. I'm so underprepared for this episode. I'm sorry, like, I don't mean to like, make light of being a bad, making a bad episode, but, yeah. I meant to do that, and I just totally forgot. I'm very... I am confident, if I had to, like, make a bet, that we're gonna get our profit after just a certain amount of turns. Because I have lost my profit before and been like, how do I get my profit back? And then I looked it up, and they're like, oh, okay. Just wait. Sure, I can do that. Now, let's go in with these guys, and I'm gonna send my friar off somewhere else. Yes, let's go ahead and take this province real quick. Friar Tuck. Yes, good, he can do that in 1 move. 1, 2. Okay, because they're plains, there's no hindrance to his movement. Recruit units. I wanted to go ahead and get a witch hunter. Again, I'm not sure if this unit is that good. I haven't played this faction Merignon very many times. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm just trying it out. This is going to be for fun. I mean, all episodes should be for fun, shouldn't they? Ooh, this guy's down to 10. Ah, dang. Be a great time to attack. This one's also very weak, but it's not adjacent, so I can't get to it. Okay. Well, I wouldn't mind doing... I'm not going to be able to take this province for a bit. If my pretender wakes up, maybe. This one... again, it's just... I'm a little worried about just the sheer number. This one's going to be no problem. This one I'd like to check out and see what's in it. And it'd be nice if I could secure these further away thrones and just plop down a fortress right away, and then I'd have these 2 nearby that I could get at my convenience. Okay, now, 120. Okay. And this is, I want to say this is Tirnanog. And since this is their capital, they're going to have a lot, they're going to have province defense for one thing. And they're also going to have enough unrest reduction that I don't think my Bard is going to be very effective. We are going to move through. Hopefully he won't get caught by the patrol and I can get through. But anyway. Yeah, let's go. This map would not be so ugly if it just weren't so badly pixelated. And these borders are also really quite ugly. But otherwise, I think it's a fine looking map. Alright. Have we got everything? Research, research, sneak, research, move. Okay, we're good. Let's go. Alright, let's watch our battle here and see how our troops fared. Okay. That blessing was a bit redundant. Oh good, they're going straight for those archers. Yeah, these guys are just chaff. Yeah, wow. I don't think I lost anybody. I don't think my flagellants had enough time to go in and get themselves killed. Yeah, crushed. Whoops. What was that message? An unexpected event? Oh, great. Defense plus 10. That means province defense went up plus 10. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah, you bet. Now, I want to... Let's go ahead and recruit my units. And think about... See, now I can get 4 this turn as opposed to 3, which is normal. Just got this guy, a witch hunter. I think... The initiate is so cheap for 7 research that I think I'm going to just grab an initiate. Troubadour. Troubadours could be fun, but I am not experienced with using them, so... Or should I go for the... He's going to take up one of my holy recruitments, though, so I think we'll just go for the initiate. And with 1,005, I think we can afford to build a temple. Fortress. That's kind of tempting, too. Again, like I said, if I build a fortress here, it's not defending anything that significant, and it's going to compete with 2 provinces for this one. I haven't discussed how supplies work with fortresses. I'll try to do that later once supplies start to become more of a pressing issue in the game, but right now there's no issue with supplies, so I feel like why explain it if it's not pertinent to what's going on screen yet. Build the temple. I think we're going to go ahead and start trying to synergize with Pegasus Riders, and we're going to have some awesome shock troops. Well, hopefully they're awesome. They are archers, aren't they? Yeah, they ought to be okay. They might be a little bit too good at everything, or you know, a little bit too competent at everything, but not good at anything as far as a troop goes. I mean, I would prefer to have. Let's take a look. See, like they have a short bow, which means they're a range unit. And they have a light lance, so what do you use them for? You know, like, are you gonna use them as a modest archer, or are you gonna use them as shock troops? And you know, it gives them versatility, I suppose, but I'd almost rather them not have the short bow and be that much cheaper to recruit, or have a better lance, or have better armor, or something. You know, like, yeah, they're a little bit too good at everything but excel at nothing. Just at a glance. They do have map move 3 though, which just is great. That's awesome. So anyway, just something to keep in mind. That's my opinion. It's probably wrong. So, okay. Here we are. I am going to go ahead and grab this province. I know I was thinking about going in and preaching, but we're going to go ahead and just grab that province first. And I am going to take my High Inquisitor. Because why not? Give him some levels. Maybe. You know, though, actually, that's kind of dumb. Well, maybe it isn't, but whatever. I am not going to go in with him. I certainly don't need him. I am going to... Yep. Preach the teachings of God. And that's going to be extra effective at reducing the enemy Dominion. It becomes normal effectiveness if the Dominion switches to my side, but because he's a Inquisitor, you might wonder, what kind of tools of Inquisition are these? Yes, these are the torture tools of Inquisition. Anyway, though, he will do that. I'm sure that this guy's going to be more than capable of taking out 2 huge dark vines. Well, that is... Yeah, we'll check it out. I don't know what to think. I don't know what those units are, is the thing. That's what's kind of weird about it. Okay, look at here. Oh, wow, he has a huge dog of the underworld. That's their pretender. So they've got their pretender already. Who radiates power. That's how you know they're the pretender. Usually, I think. Yeah. 40 units isn't that great. But, again, they have an awake pretender, so... We're going to go over here to this province and try to instill an uprising. And that's just going to annoy them and force them to spend money on province defense. So, you know, I did say in my setup that, like, I don't mind having this, you know, turmoil value because I'll just buff it with province defense. The obvious thing, however, is that, I mean, one, having order is so much more better because, like, order gives you extra income. And the other thing, too, is that, well, province defense costs money. So if you don't have to pay for province defense initially just to keep your provinces from going into unrest, anyway, I think you get my point. The negatives aren't maybe that bad the way I phrased it, but the positives are so much better. So anyway, there we go. You are the witch hunter. Okay, do I have anywhere that you need to patrol? Yeah, over here actually. Yeah. Research 8, though. Yeah, so it's an interesting unit. Again, kind of like with the Pegasus Riders, it's sort of frustrating. I would want this guy to either research or preach, maybe, or patrol. I guess as a frontline preacher, he wouldn't be bad, though, because if you get your province to max... I mean, you can switch him back and forth. I think this guy is going to be serving me well on the front line. Sorrel is the Grand Master, right? I got you researching. Okay. I think... Too bad I can't get him up here, but I think I'll send him over and... What's my move after this, though? That's the thing. I bet we could take this as well. So... Especially if I have my witch... Oh, I only have 2, huh? Especially if I have my witch hunter grab those 2 knights as backup and head in. Then hopefully I'll be able to unite them both on this province or this province. Okay. You're building the temple. Troubadour's moving. Okay, we'll call it good. Let's go. Oh. Okay, yeah, we're fine. Oh, I just need 2 more to okay, hang on. This changes things. I can wait. I can wait 1 turn to get that research. Yeah, I do want to put this guy on the front line and try him out in that capacity. Okay, White Forest. So this one, I'm going to be curious to see what these units are that we're going up against. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That is a lot of blood slaves. That's going to be a lot of bad blood magic coming my way. Oh my... Wow. 126 hit points. That's like higher than a lot of pretenders. Oh, we've got a problem. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. Oh, and if my guys fall asleep, that's also going to be bad news. Okay, they didn't. We're going to go through those guys easily, but it's those dark vines that are the problem. That's pretty good damage, too. Wow, these are... I'm going to lose some troops. 81 hit points. Does that take damage? Yeah, okay, I hit it a few times, apparently. See, like, these guys are not going to be able to take more than 2 hits from these dark vines. And we've got these mages in the background here messing with it. Oh wow, we just creamed it. Oh wow, they melted. Huh. Now these guys, they might look like units, but these are blood slaves. Every magic has gems associated with it, except blood magic. Now normally your wizards can carry gems onto the battlefield, and they just hold them in their pocket, and they use those to cast more powerful spells that require gems. Some spells don't require gems, they only require fatigue. Other spells require not just that you have the fatigue, but that you also have the magic gems which get consumed. Like I said, the gems are the part of the magic economy system. However, blood slaves are different. Blood magic requires the use of blood slaves. Now that mechanic is identical to gems on the strategic layer, but in combat, obviously you can't carry a human being in your pocket. This is going to get gruesome too, by the way, warning. But you can't carry a, human female virgin in your pocket, so they actually just appear on the battlefield. Now, they count as mindless, but that's just because... that's for balance reasons, basically. But these are basically just young, enslaved women. It's, yeah, like I said, useless kick. That's what they have to attack with. Anyway, these poor women are going to just get killed as necessary for these people to cast their blood magic spells. But what's interesting is you can go in and you can kill them yourself, and that's like taking the gems out of the wizard's pocket, if that were possible. But yeah, anyway, I have to say that this is such a gruesome... I know where it comes from. It comes from, like, Mayan and, like, just some of these really horrible cultures from, well, I want to say antiquity, but I don't know if we should call it antiquity or not, but... where, like, blood sacrifice, sacrificing people, human sacrifice was a thing, so that's where the lore comes in. But, yeah, when I first started playing this game, I was just like, blood sacrifice? No, I don't even want to think about that stuff. So, now I don't have a problem with it, because I've gotten more into a game mentality with it, but boy, that's some dark stuff. I mean, kudos to the developers having the guts to, kind of put that lore into the game, but wow. So yeah, we're killing their blood slaves so that the blood slaves cannot be killed to make magic against us. That's... Oh, but, instead of liberating them after we've killed their masters, we're just like, yeah, we're just gonna kill the slaves anyway. Oh, man. Anyway. Okay, we didn't lose anybody, though. So yeah, actually we did really, really well. I just was... Again, it was these dark vines. They just did not do anything, man. They have low... Well, that's not bad protection, 9. They just got creamed, though, by my knights. So, yeah, I don't know what to think. An unexpected event. People are taking some extra time off from their chores. Sloth +1. So the sloth scale went up 1 over here in Irene. But it can only go up to 3, I believe. So, no skin off my back. Now... Okay, we've got a new initiate. Whoa. Oh, because of my -3. Okay, yeah, that's something I should be keeping in mind. So that's where, like, my setting the magic scale down is coming back to bite me. Is that their normal research is 7, but because I have a 3 drain, their research is only 4. That's really terrible. Like. This is the biggest liability I have. Well, it's maybe not my biggest, but this is a serious liability I have at the moment. Is that I'm researching just slower than smoke off poop. Now, evocation's about to be done. One thing I want to get to eventually is conjuration. That's one reason I chose this faction, is I wanted to really see what these angelic hosts and wraiths and stuff like that were all about. Now, I do need to get those alquils up and running as soon as possible, so we're going back to construction to try to get to level 2. I've got 2 points left to finish evocation, so we'll just bump it there. Perfect. Alright. Now, you're preaching, and see, we've already eliminated that evil Dominion. Now, down here with our Bard, free from... Okay, local defense, 1 officer. Okay, great. We are going to instill an uprising. Have some fun with that. Make that guy have to pull in some... put some money into... sink some money into province defense. Okay, now these guys... Do I want to keep preaching, or should I go ahead and move up? We do have an army coming over here, but it's only 20 units. I should put some province defense here, though. Oh no, he can't even get through yet. This mountain pass isn't open yet, so he'll have to come through here where I have a modicum of defense, and I'm about to recruit some units, provided my money holds out. Let's see, I will go ahead and once more move you guys up. Move you up. This also, militia are nothing. Heavy infantry are going to be a little bit worse. Light infantry, I think, should melt. I think we're going to be fine taking this province. Yeah, so we're just going to do it. And here, again, let's keep recruiting our knights because they're so good. These Chalice Knights are just awesome. Should I recruit another holy unit? Let's maybe go for another High Inquisitor. Just, again, like I said, for fun. We're here to have fun. That's the excuse everybody who's bad at a game makes. I'm just playing the game to have fun. I'm not trying to win. Can we get some Pegasi Riders? Yes, we could. This, by the way, is not a very good priest. Not a very good priestess. What do I think of the sorceress? Yeah, this is not any kind of magic I don't already have access to. 105 gold for 9 research. But... here... 45 gold for 7. That's much more cost effective, even though I should be recruiting other stuff from my capital. Yeah. I'm thinking... For now, let's just go ahead and recruit our Pegasi Rider. I think that's going to put us... Oh, no, we can do it. Let's do it. Yeah. So she has a short bow. As far as province defenders go, this guy isn't going to be too bad. He's just so much more expensive. But see, right, like this, the Amazon has a short bow, so I'm kind of just like, why this kind of, I don't know. Like I said, hopefully if somebody smarter than me is watching, they'll enlighten me as to why Pegasus Riders are just awesome. But at the moment, I'm kind of not that. I'm not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. All right, shall we preach a little bit more before we start heading into these other? You know what? I don't think. Yes, we will, 1 turn, just 1 turn. And, yeah. Just for 1 turn. Okay. Again, I think I'll keep you there researching, why not? I don't know what to do with that unit, really. Which is something you should know before you recruit, is what you're using the unit for. Anyway, there we go. Alright, so, I will end the turn here, and see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.